Testing, 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 testing. We finna get to it. One life. Y'all ready? Testing. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, One Life? Y'all ready to get started? Yo, y'all ready? All right then. Yeah, yeah. I love them, I love them, I love them, I love you. All right, One Life. Maybe I should call. Um, maybe I should call. One Life. Let's do it. Let's do it, One Life. How y'all feeling? We finna get into it, baby. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on with this Nolan Wells situation. Feel me? And quite frankly, it needs to be addressed. Okay, you got these folks just talking. This idiot, this idiot. Where is the facts of the case? That's what I want to know. Ain't none. See, I'm finna break something down for y'all. Okay.
Se puede colocar en el espacio del asiento del automóvil y cuenta con colores, luz gradual que se enciende cuando el vehículo arranca. This is a song about a legend. She's the quiet.
I'm coming, y'all. Maybe I should call. All right. Yeah, yeah. So, what going on, chat? Everybody rocking. All right, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this motherfucker. But look, all right. Nolan Wells. This is the reason why I don't talk about it. You got a fake ass police officer. That's that's really witness tampering what he doing. But don't nobody want to be truthful. This motherfucker don't know shit. Nothing. You went down there and let them white folk run circles around your motherfucking ass. They didn't tell you shit. And the lies that they were telling you, your dumb ass was listening. You just stupid. officer, former. First of all, and I'm not here to bash. I'm here to be honest. Okay, I didn't get on the Nolan Wells case because there's no information. All this shit is speculation. Oh, Katie this, Warren that, Bart this, Wyatt that, Trace done this, JV on. It's a lot of what we call name dropping. Nothing proven. Shut up, shut up. Okay? That's the whole point. Okay? Meaning, we are stuck in a limbo. Okay? See, I'm going to tell y'all what's going on. And where the boil down to it is. Okay? You got police, prosecutors, judges, anything or anybody pertaining to the court system, they starting to get help. All motherfuckers want to do is come on the internet and fake solve cases. That's it. So they say, well, look, why don't we stop putting the information out there and then don't nobody know shit? So now it's leaving motherfucker running around like a chicken with the head cut off, looking for answers. And when you can't get a story, an answer, compliance, you start creating narratives. Now, mind you, I don't know what the fuck happened to Nolan. I don't know. They're not releasing the autopsy. They're not releasing the toxicology report. His parents, I came to find out Christine, the mama, lost custody of 3 of the boys to their dad. It's a lot going on. So at the end of the day, I can't tell nobody how to grieve, and I can't tell nobody how to get their justice. Okay. Now, I think like this. I think when the judicial system says let them complete their investigation, that's what they mean. Let them complete the investigation. And if it is completed, and for some reason they ain't, first of all, who the fuck are y'all or anybody that feel like you obligated to an answer about what happened to somebody else's child? Motherfucker, both of these niggas piss me off. Let's get into the content, baby.
Gentlemen, we're back in Mississippi. And like I said, the first time I came out here, there's a lot of people that's going to have to apologize. And this time, the weight is even heavier because there are some people that are going to get sued. I was able to interview Warren. Gentlemen, we're back.
He sound like a bitch. This nigga sound like a bitch. Like I said before, a lot of people gonna have to apologize. Motherfucker, I wouldn't give a fuck if I were dead to the wrong. I wouldn't apologize to you for a motherfucking thing. Woo! I don't see but 2 sorry motherfuckers up here. Not it. Woo! Nah, I said the fly. Now, let's get back to the point. This motherfucker, tell me, I came back to Mississippi. Why? He the only person I know, not a police officer, not a police officer. My headphones got a delay, so it's fucking me up. But a officer. Hey, what's up? What's up, Shot? What's up, Trina? Oh, Trina in the building. Why my damn things ain't coming up on here? Training in the building. Training in the building. Shouts out to a day One Life family member. We got Martha in the building. What's up, Miss Martha? How you been? Right. I thought this was about to be supporting and helping the parents get closure from fair investigation. The parents know what's going on. All of them know. And they know if something foul happened to Nolan, they know. Now, why they don't, I'm talking about the family. Why the family don't come out and tell us, your guess is as good as mine. If these folks unalive their child, y'all got a private autopsy. Y'all know what's going on. Where the anger? Where's the uproar? It's not one. Because first of all, I just told y'all, the lady allegedly, I seen the paperwork though. I seen the court paperwork where she lost three of her kids to the father in Jackson, Mississippi. That's a fact. Y'all think I'm lying? Hold on. You can't have feelings. Hold on. For a situation you weren't there for. Hold on. I'm finna hold on. I gotta find what I did with. Cause I be moving so fast. Okay, here we go right here. Hold on. Listen.
Lost custody, her three oldest children to their father. And you got to understand in Mississippi how difficult it is for the man to get full custody. It has been that way for a long time. Yeah, that's why I was a big supporter of this 50-50 thing. Yeah. And the fact it passed. And there's some people mad about it. I saw somebody in my DM the other day say, I wish you would talk. This is that's a fact. Y'all think I'm lying? Yeah. But oh, I was playing the thing. My bad, y'all. Talk about this 50-50 law passing and what it's going to do. I was like, I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. Now, every case is going to be a little different, but at least the starting point is even. And then you go from there. Like, I don't think it's going to be this big lopsided thing that's going to hurt children. I think it forces everything to be looked at from a 50-50 standpoint, and then you can go from there. We're not going to talk about that right now. I want to talk about this. Oh, so in Mississippi, you got to be a really bad mom to lose custody of your kids. They're just going to come out and say that, but I will. You got to be a bad mom to lose custody to the man. You really do. So Fairfield's dug into it. Like I said, you got. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. Hold on. You got to be a bad mama. Yeah. They definitely made it out big. But yeah, the yeah, the this man basically broke down. You got to be a horrible mama to lose three of your kids to their dad. And I'm gonna tell you something. He right. Child, let me tell you something. You got to be a fucked up mama to lose custody of your kids.
to their dad.
In Mississippi, and like I said, the first time I came out here, there's a lot of people that's going to have to apologize. And this time, the weight is even heavier because there are some people that are going to get sued. I was able to interview Warren again to clear up some of the things that people had questions about after the first interview. And then we went on to interview two other young men who were crucial. And people are claiming they were involved in this. They clear it up all the way from text messages, from the keys and the phone being on the boat.
They ain't clear shit up. You witness tampering. You witness tampering. You are hindering a goddamn investigation. And you know what else? You impersonating a police officer. Talking about, oh, I'm Officer Tatum. This nigga stupid. I heard him say that a police officer is a detective. A police officer does investigations. This is what he said. Well, if that's the case, why is there two different entities? I got an investigator license. Never been a police. Never. Two different credentials. You feel me? Man, I don't give a damn why she lost her kids. She lost them. Now she running around TikTok doing skincare routine. Man, get the fuck out of here. Let me get back to the point. But I get what you're saying though. Unfortunately, I ain't gonna
Timeline from last year at Horn Island all the way to this year. And I'm telling you right now,
the
for those
fuck
of
we
you who are
care about
balanced and
last
fair,
year.
this is going to blow your freaking mind.
No,
and
it
I
ain't.
ain't going to lie, y'all. I'm more upset about the narrative that was pushed after listening to these young boys tell the truth and show evidence.
Tell the
Some
truth.
of y'all are going to get sued, and
Look.
some of y'all are going to have to give apologies. You just wait until we finish this video and put it out.
Hey, how do you determine who gonna apologize and who gonna get sued? Let me tell you something. He said he was upset that how people acted after these boys told the truth. Let me ask you this. If everybody telling the truth, who lying? If everybody is telling the truth, who lying? Is it you? Is it you? It ain't me. Somebody is lying. First person come to my head, Benjamin Crump. Then the mama. They the first person that strike me as liars. And I wanted y'all to see this because he done took his ass back to Horn Island. Nigga, don't you know curiosity killed the cat? Meow.
It's going to blow the internet wide open.
No, it ain't.
Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in Mississippi. And like I said, the first time I came out here,
It's not gonna blow the internet wide open.
we're back in Mississippi. And like I said, the first time I came out here, there's a lot of people that's going to have to apologize. And this time, the weight is even heavier because there are some people that are going to get sued. I was able to interview Warren again to clear up some of the things that people had questions about after the first interview. And then we went on to interview two other young men who were crucial. And people are claiming they were involved in this. They clear it up all the way from text messages, from...
Hey, the man said y'all finna get sued. So y'all might wanna what do you say? Get some lawyers or something. Motherfucker. Now, I got Buddy up here. Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar. Yeah, motherfucker. Now, I don't like him either. But this ain't about who I like and don't like. I want everything to be fair. I want justice. I want to just find out what happened. If it was an accident, then it was an accident. If it won, it won. A buddy of mine sent me this about old Umar, and he was saying that Umar had made a lot of sense in what he was saying. When that's why he playing and everybody on the money grab. Yes, they on the money grab. They on the money grab. But see, that just go back to what I'm saying. Now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch this interview with the One Life family because although I feel how I feel about Umar, he touched on some things, but he just too. What is that? What the fuck is that he is? He just too, white people. Like, bitch, what are you talking about? Let's check them out, ladies and gentlemen.
Spread across 3 boats. They all went to Horn Island together. They arrived at approximately 11:30. So they left around 9ish, 8, 9ish, whatever the case may be. They left the morning of July 4th. They arrived on White Devil's Horn Island at about 11:30. So
Shit
three
like that.
boats, 30 youth. They went together. I'm not clear on whether the 3 boats came back together or not. That's another question that I have, Art. Did they come back together the same way they left together? Because I'm treating all 30 of those white youth and all 3 of those ships as crime scenes and as suspects. All 3 ships are potential crime scenes. All 3 boats are potential crime scenes, and all 30 youth are potential suspects. I don't know why Jackson County Sheriff
I'm gonna stop it
Ledbetter.
right there. You can't consider 30 people suspects. What the fuck? You telling me you got 30 suspects? That means you don't know shit. I suspect 30 people, 3 boats. What you don't have is probable cause. I'm gonna put that out like that. You feel me? But continue.
Or
30 fucking
Jackson County
suspects.
District Attorney Mulrath. I don't know why they decided to separate the boat that Nolan was on, Warren's boat. I don't know why they separated that boat from the other 2 for purposes of investigation
That's
and
where the probable
analysis.
cause
Because
lied,
those 3
fool.
boats operated as a team.
They
And since they went out there as a team, and it hasn't been made clear to me whether
That's how I know he's stupid. Let me tell you something. They they what is the word? A solo or they dealt with that boat. That's simple. I ain't even sitting here watching this shit. They searched that boat and separated that boat because that was the boat he was allegedly brought in on and the people that he came in with. The people that had his ID, keys, and stuff like that was on the boat that they searched. They just like if a nigga go rob the gas station, okay? And it's a car sitting on the pump over here, car sitting on the pump over there. they car in the front. Why the fuck would I hold all these cars to search and do these things when I don't have probable cause? How the fuck is 30 people suspects? That's damn near Rico. That's past the Rico. Come on, gang.
Or not they came back together as a team, all 30 white youth and all 3 boats should have been part of this investigation, not
No,
just the one boat.
no,
That is my
no,
first
absolutely not.
big issue with this case. Who decided to
Hey,
separate the other 2 boats
hold on.
in the other 20 or so youth? I got a problem with that, Art, because
Where the fuck is this school that you supposed to be opening? You want to put all of this shit on the white man, and you ain't open up that school. Where that school at, nigga? Man, shut the front door. Let's go.
according to the Cajun Navy, they have no GPS information on the other 2 boats, Art. They have no GPS information
They
on
didn't
the
have a
other
search warrant
2
for the
boats.
other
Now let's
boats.
get into this.
Let's do it.
Let's get into this.
Let's do it.
According to Warren
Uh-huh.
and Nolan's other so-called white friends, they decided to leave the island around 4:30.
All right.
So they were roughly on White Devil's Horn Island from 11:30 to 4:30.
Uh-huh.
That is about 5 hours.
Uh-huh.
About 5 hours.
Uh-huh.
Now, one question that has to be asked, Art,
Uh-huh.
why did y'all leave so soon?
Cause we were
Because
ready
they
to
party
go.
on Horn Island all day long. Y'all didn't leave at sunset. Y'all didn't leave at sundown. Y'all left after only being there 5 hours. That's a little suspicious, Art. And I haven't heard
Hold on.
anybody ask any of them, why did y'all decide to leave after only being?
Come on, chat. We ain't going for this. Nigga. Is this camera on? Is this camera on? This camera on? They left because there was shit going on. Just like they were saying, Javion, he gonna tell it. Just like, matter of fact, hold that thought. Hold that thought. I'm showing y'all how dumb this nigga is. He just talks so much that he talks stupid. Listen to him.
In there for 5 hours. Did y'all plan to only be on White Devil's Horn Island for 5
Listen
hours?
to him.
Why did y'all leave at that time?
He gonna answer his
We'll
own
deal with that
question.
later. So then let's
up.
listen to Javon, Nolan's other best friend. Now, another problem I got with this whole story, Art, is Nolan allegedly had too many best friends. I'm trying to find out, how does Nolan have so many best friends? And why did all of these so-called best friends leave their best friend on White Devil's Horn Island without his cell phone and keys? I'm trying to figure this out. So Javon claims he's Nolan's best friend. Warren claims he's Nolan's best friend. And Trayston allegedly claims that he's Warren's best friend. So did Warren have 3 best friends? Excuse me. Did Nolan have 3 best friends? Did Nolan have 13 best friends? Did Nolan have 30 best friends?
It
Because
don't
if
matter.
Javon is the best friend of Nolan, and if Warren is the best friend of Nolan, and if Trayston is the best friend of Nolan, exactly how many best friends did Nolan have?
As many as
Are
he
y'all
wanted.
making this up?
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
Nina can't code.
Who did Nolan tell Warren was his best friend?
Not
Who
you.
did Nolan ever tell Trayston was his best friend? I'm not going to question Javon, because he's a brother. And I do believe that there's a strong chance that they may have been best friends. And I say that not only because Javon is a brother, Art, but I also felt that Javon, through the investigation team and alley-oop, with some of
Listen
the
to him.
answers that he gave on TMZ.
Listen to him.
Some of Javon's answers, in my opinion, kind of made it clear to me he actually cared about Nolan. He actually cared about Nolan. I believe Javon
I
actually
seen
cared
like the
about
first
Nolan.
15
And because of
minutes.
that, I'm
But
willing to say that Javon may have actually been Nolan's best friend. I wish somebody would have asked Javon, Art, to your knowledge, has Nolan ever called Warren his best friend? Has Nolan ever called Tristan his best friend? To your knowledge, Javon, has Nolan ever told you that Warren and Tristan were best friends of his? Because Art, I'm having a problem with this three best friend narrative. Okay?
yeah,
I used to be
clout
18
chase.
years old. You might have one best friend. You may have two. Don't get me wrong. If you all hang in a pack, you could have three best friends. But according to Javon's own words, Art, he didn't really hang around with them other guys too much. That's what I allegedly thought I heard him say. He didn't hang around with them guys too much. So if you got 2 or 3 or 4 best friends, you guys normally travel as a group. Javon seemed like he kind of spent most of his time.
I'm gonna stop him right there. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause just as quick as he talking, he contradicted himself. Now, you can have more than one best friend. And mind you, when I was growing up, I ain't even called niggas my best friend. They're my partner. They're my dog. We had cliques. We had cliques. So it might be, we used to have this clique called the Trey clique. We would call it the Trey clique. We started off, I think, in middle school, Tiny Toon. We used to just be dancing. Then when we got to high school, we went into the Trey clique. And then eventually it became shit, gang members. But the point that I'm making is this. I had two groups of people that I hung with. I was from one part, and then we moved out here to the other part. Now, the other part we moved to had Caucasians. I didn't hang with the Caucasians, but there was a few African American students that I hung with. Now, the ones I hung out with that were from out there, they didn't fuck with my partners knew from where I was from, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? But these my partners that I grew up with. Then we had moved out here, and I rocked with y'all. I introduced them. They robbed them. They came back. It was, but they my partner. I can go over here and rock with bro. No, we can kick it. We go, but then I could come over here and rock with Shawty. Now, as I'm telling y'all that, it sounds like a dangerous game I was playing. But I went 'cause I was cool. But to yesterday's cool ain't today's cool. You see? You can lose your life doing shit like that. Feel me? That when they started calling me Shade the Star. They were like, boy, for real, shout. So my friends over here can't tell you or you about my relationship and friendship with my partners over here. Cause they don't fuck with them. Okay? So I wanted to clear that up. Cause he wanna make it seem like he just so brilliant. Can he have 30 best friends? Motherfucker, if he want that, I don't even know 30 people. The One Lyfe family, I call them family. We ain't related, but that's the One Lyfe family. Go open up that school, nigga. Let's get back to it.
With Nolan alone, just the two of them, not with Tristan and Warren, although he knew them, it didn't appear that he hung out with them on the regular. So how could they all then be best friends?
I
It's
just told you.
possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm
So
saying
what's the
it's unlikely.
question?
So, according to Javon Art,
I would debate
he
him.
saw Nolan at 3:40 on the island.
Now check this out.
According to Javon, what I heard him say to TMZ allegedly was that
Look, he's so stuck on trying to be brotherhood that he don't realize he contradicted himself because he keep trying to speak highly of Javion. Now, remind you, he just 5 minutes ago said he didn't know why they would go to Doot Horn Island and leave at 5 o'clock. I mean, in 5 hours. He said he didn't know why. But if you listen to him right here, he give us the answer,
he
right?
had another friend
Listen
who
to
was
him.
involved in an
Hold on.
according to Javon.
Listen.
I'm not saying
I'm gonna
he
be
didn't hang
quiet.
around with them guys too much. So if you got 2 or 3 or 4 best friends,
I'm gonna be
you
quiet.
guys normally travel as a group. Javon seemed like he kind of spent most of his time with Nolan alone, just the two of them, not with Tristan and Warren. Although he knew them, it didn't appear that he hung out with them on the regular. So
Okay.
how could they all then be best friends?
They
It's
weren't
possible.
all
I'm
best
not saying
friends.
it's not possible. I'm saying it's unlikely. So, according to Javon Art, he saw Nolan at 3:40 on the island. According to Javon, what I heard him say to TMZ allegedly was that he had another friend who was involved in an altercation and that he left Nolan at about 3:40 to go check on his buddy because according to Javon, his buddy was on another ship and the parents of whomever on this other ship were trying to get him off the island because he was crashing out. He never said who this friend was. He never exactly told us what happened. But he said, I left at 3:40 to go check on my friend on another boat because, quote unquote, well, these are not his words, I'm paraphrasing. He was kind of wilding out, crashing out, and he needed to help calm him down. I'm paraphrasing. He said when he got back, Nolan was nowhere to be found, and I'm paraphrasing. And Nolan,
I'm not paraphrasing, motherfucker. Quote unquote. Quote in quote. Listen. Now, is it safe? Is it safe to believe? Hold on. Is it safe? Because he just sat there and said that um Javion said that his buddy got into an altercation. Oh,
Nolan's boat that he came on, Warren's boat, the so-called Big Daddy, the 22-foot Triton, had already left
He
the
called
scene.
that shit the big.
So according to
y'all.
Javon, I left Nolan at 3:40 to go deal with another situation. I came back, he was gone. According to Katie, the white girl who Nolan's white best friends are trying to use as an alibi in this situation. Okay, because they claim, and Warren said the same thing to Officer B.T. Coon when he spoke with him. They claim that Nolan told them, I'm going to hang back on this island and talk to Katie. You guys go ahead and I'll get back however I get back. Again, I'm paraphrasing. But guess what? We learned through Katie's sister that Katie said she has no knowledge of Nolan ever saying
Okay.
on Warren's boat, the so-called Big, at about 3:40 to go check on his buddy, because according to Javon, his buddy was on another ship, and the parents of whomever on this other ship were trying to get him off the island because he was crashing out. He never said who this friend was. He never exactly told us what happened. But he said, I left at 3:40 to go check on my friend on another boat because, quote unquote, well, these are not his words, I'm paraphrasing. He was kind of wilding out, crashing out, and he needed to help calm him down. I'm paraphrasing. He said when he got back, Nolan was nowhere to be found, and I'm paraphrasing. And Nolan's boat that he came on, Warren's boat, the so-called Big Daddy, the 22-foot Triton, had already left the scene. So according to Javon, I left Nolan at 3:40 to go deal with another situation. I came back, he was gone. According to
I want to pick up right there. Because this my thing. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, who do you think JV friend was over there having an altercation with? I'll wait. Who do you think JV went to go intervene with? Clearly one of his partners was having an altercation where they was trying to kick him up out of there or whatever because he was crashing out. This is what Umar just said, okay? I don't know about y'all, but if I'm somewhere and I'm chilling, I could be kicking it with my partners, 10 deep. We kicking it. Boom. I'm saying something. Before shit pop off, my little antennas go to, you can feel a confrontation. When the confrontation comes, you like, damn, something ain't right. I just peeked the move, right? But here go the catch. If a fight pop off right now, you out, you can be at the club. You can be anywhere. If a fight pop off, don't you normally get the hell on? I get the hell on. Why would I still be here? There's a plethora of places I can go. My boat fucking up. They out here fighting. Bart done seen him with the ex. Whatever. Showed it. Sometimes you got to go home. What are you talking about? That's what you gotta do. What the fuck? Something pop off. What, I'm gonna stand around and see what happened next? Possibly get piled? No. I'm finna get on my boat and float like a goat. What is you talking about? Why wasn't nobody there? Cause niggas don't know how to act.
Katie,
Shit.
the white girl who
Now it's the
Nolan's
white
white
girl.
best friends are trying to use as an alibi in this
Right.
situation. Okay, because
That's what
they
they doing.
claim,
Now listen to him.
and
Look,
Warren said the same thing to
listen.
Officer
He's
B.T.
stupid.
Coon when he spoke with him.
Listen.
They claim
What he
that
claim?
Nolan told them, I'm going to hang back on this island and talk to Katie. You guys go ahead and I'll get back however I get back. Again, I'm paraphrasing. But guess what?
What?
We learned through Katie's sister that Katie said she has no knowledge of Nolan ever saying that.
Hearsay.
In fact, Katie said, Art, that
Hearsay.
Nolan told.
Hearsay. Hearsay. And I'm going to tell you, that's why I wanted to come up here and talk to y'all. Because all these people try to make it seem like they make all the sense in the world. They don't. He just said, we know that's not true because Katie's sister said it wasn't so. Hearsay. That's the first thing they're going to say in the courtroom. Hearsay. So you're saying that Katie's sister said that Katie said this wasn't true? Why Katie ain't came out and said it? Dr. Umar? Why Katie ain't came out and said it? You talking about something her sister said.
Told her, I got to get ready to head back to the boat because my friends are leaving soon.
Hearsay.
That don't sound like somebody who plans on staying, Art. Okay?
I didn't hear nobody say that.
According to her sister, Katie said Nolan told Katie, it's time for me to head back to the boat because my friends are going to be leaving
How
soon.
do
As far as I'm concerned,
Katie's
Art,
sister know
Javon
that?
and Katie both threw us an alley-oop.
I don't play basketball.
Javon and Katie are throwing Sheriff Ledbetter of Jackson County an alley-oop because neither one of them are corroborating the story of Nolan's white friends on that boat. In fact, Javon said, this ain't adding up. Javon said, it's not like Nolan to say, you guys go ahead and leave me on this island and I'm just going to stay back to talk to this girl who I barely know.
Okay.
According to Javon,
Wait a minute.
it don't make no sense.
Okay. Let me elaborate. That's what I'm saying. All y'all got to do is listen. Umar said earlier that why did they leave so early? Why did they leave so early? Which put me in the mind to say, well, maybe Nolan wasn't ready to go. Maybe they were leaving too early for Nolan, which is why he wanted to stay. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying, if you're saying 5 hours wasn't long enough, he could have wanted to stay. It wasn't just Katie. There was a plethora of snow bunnies hopping around. Hell, is you telling me that? And they're hopping right behind Peter Pan, motherfucker. You feel me? What is you talking about? Why stop? Why stop?
Javon ain't stupid, Art. That's
You
his
are.
friend. He know damn well Nolan didn't tell them that he was going to stay back on that ship. And then Katie, I'm going to give a little bit of respect to Katie on this situation. Because
Why?
as a white girl, Art,
Stop
for her
calling
to
her
come
that.
out and say that is not what happened, for her to come out and say that Nolan told
She
me
didn't come
I
out
got to
and say
get back
that.
to the boat because my friends are leaving, for her to say that, Art, that took a little bit of courage and honesty. That took a little bit of integrity. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to give her too much credit because she is trying to clear her name. What Katie is basically doing, Art, is she's saying, listen, y'all did whatever y'all did to Nolan.
That's not what she
Get a
said.
GoDaddy website, email, and matching domain.
I'm paraphrasing.
But you're not going to add me to the narrative. I'm
She didn't
not
say that.
serving as nobody's alibi. I'm not helping nobody get out of this situation. You're not going to use me as a decoy, but I still appreciate Katie speaking up for Nolan Art because she didn't have to do it. Although she's trying to protect herself and stay out of the investigation, I appreciate Katie for letting the world know Nolan told me I got to head back to the boat because my friends are getting ready to leave. Now, according to Katie Art, she spoke to Nolan sometime between 3 and
This is
4:30.
according
Now,
to
her
her
window appears to
sister.
be wider than everybody else's window. So Javon's window is much smaller. He
And
said, I
yours is
saw him at
smaller.
3:40, went to deal with another situation. By the time I came back, they were gone. Katie said I spoke with
No.
him between 3 and 4:30. And I allege, Art, one
Okay.
of the reasons that Katie is making her window so wide
Guess why?
is she trying to leave a little bit of wiggle room for Warren and them
A
to get their story straight,
wiggle.
allegedly. I think Katie trying to leave a little bit of wiggle room for Warren and them to get their story straight, Art. Now, according to our sister Christine, and my heart goes out to Sister Christine, Nolan's mother. My heart deeply, deeply goes out to you, Queen. According to Christine, Art, she heard from a coach who ran into Nolan on the island as well. And according to the coach, he spoke to Nolan between 2:30 and 3:30. So Javon didn't see him after 3:40. The coach spoke to him sometime between 2:30 and 3:30. And Katie said her conversation with Nolan was between 3 and 4:30. So you know what that means, Art? We can pretty much digest, conclude that Nolan was likely to have been unalived, Art, sometime within the hour of 3:30 to 4:30. I'm going to insinuate that Nolan's life was taken because I do not believe he accidentally drowned. If he drowned, he was forcibly drowned. And we'll get to that in a minute. If Nolan drowned, he was forcibly drowned. He did not accidentally drown. He was a great swimmer. Miss me with the nonsense. That boy did not drown. If he drowned, it was by force. So again, Art, all three of these people, arguably the last three to see him alive, except for those who took his life, Katie, the coach, and Javon, are arguably the last three people to see Nolan alive, except for those who took his life on that boat, allegedly. That's my position. So they're all basically cutting off around 3:30 Art. Remember, they made the call for the emergency sea tow at 4 o'clock. Javon said he cut out 3:40. The coach, 3:30. They made the call at 4 o'clock. That conversation we heard, the sea tow call, which we're going to talk about in a minute, that took place at 4. It sounded like there was some struggling going on in the background. Nolan could have been getting unalived while they were making the call, Art. Nolan could have been getting unalived while they were making the call. Nolan could have been getting choked out while they was on the phone with Cito. So again, Art, my position is Nolan lost his life somewhere within the hour of 3:30 to 4:30. Now, before we go any further, Art, I need Ben Crump, investigation team, and Sheriff Ledbetter's investigation team to have a conversation with Javon, because according to Javon's statements on TMZ, the police never spoke to him. And I have serious concerns with the manner in which this investigation has been carried out so far, Art. I have very serious concerns with the manner in which this investigation has been carried out so far. So anyway, Javon said police never spoke with him. Why? We need a conversation with Javon, not because I think he's a suspect. I believe Javon is innocent, but we need to find out what he knows. That's number one. We also need a conversation, Art, with the coach Who is this coach that Sister Christine said contacted her and told her he had a conversation with Nolan on the island between 2:30 and 3:30? We need to find out what he knows. And according to Katie's sister, she is already cooperating with the authorities.
So
But
what the
here's why
fuck?
those three got to be spoken to, Art. Not
They
only so we
talking to the
find out what they know,
police.
Art, but did they see each other during their conversation with Nolan?
Yes.
Because Javon, if you was talking to Nolan and left him at 3:40, and if Katie was talking to Nolan sometime between 3 and 4:30, and if the coach was talking to Nolan between 3:30 and 4:30, Art, at least two of you should have ran into each other.
He's stupid. Look, let me tell you. God, is this fucking for real? Oh my God. Look, let me tell y'all something. Look, listen. Okay, listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. Cause this is crazy. Listen, I'm finna tell y'all something simple. Simple. And I was not even there. Listen to me. Shout out. JV according to what Nurse Umar just said, he told you there was a situation that happened with one of his partners. He went over there to go see what was going on. Okay. When that incident occurred, that's why everybody is telling you this between 3:30, 4:30, that era. When that confrontation occurred, everybody saw it. It was that's what I'm trying to tell you. This was a scene that was made. Okay? Everybody looking at each other. What going on? What the fuck going on? It was some punching thrown. Come on, shout it. What are you talking about? But this the thing. They do it different. Nobody got pop. Let that been nigga would have got shot. Nigga got shot that day. You would have seen it all on the news. Shit, people unalive. And then nobody unalive had nothing to do with it. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you is when the situation happened, okay? When the situation happened, what's up, Tyler? When the situation happened, everybody is, but we gotta get the fuck on, man. Let go. That's why they left. Man, let's go. Fuck this. We drinking. We got this on us. We got some women with us. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go before the police come. I think it was him that said, it was him. It was Umar. It was Umar. Said when they called Cito said they were going to send the Coast Guard. This idiot said they froze up, didn't want Coast Guard coming. Why they didn't want Coast Guard coming? Would you send the police? If you had a flat tire on the highway, Betty Bloop on you, would you tell them to send the police to help you? I'm just asking. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Why you sitting up here talking about why they didn't want the Coast Guard? Because they didn't want to go to jail, my boy. And it wasn't about Nolan. It was about snowing. One life or no life.
Did the coach see Javon? Did Javon see the coach? Did the coach
Yes.
see Katie? Did Katie see the coach? Did Katie see Javon? Did the coach
Yes.
see Katie? Art,
Yes.
if all three of them are saying they saw Nolan for the last time, roughly within the same hour, hour and a half, Art,
Uh-huh.
did y'all run into each other? Let
Yes.
me tell you why I'm asking this question, Art.
We answered it.
And I'm not throwing no shade at my brother Javon. I like Javon.
But
I'm not
what?
throwing no shade at Miss Katie McCormick. I don't know
Yes,
her.
you are.
I'm
Yes, you
not
are.
throwing no shade
You
at the
don't
coach,
call her
Art.
all
But the
out her
reason
name.
I need to know why all y'all put y'all time within the same frame and you may have not possibly seen one another, Art, are you guys keeping yourself out of the window of witnessing this crime by saying you didn't see him after 3:30? I want you to follow what I'm saying here, Art. It's kind of interesting
Hey, no,
that
it's
they
not.
all saw him last at 3:30,
That's the last time they saw
not
him.
after 3.
Because the situation happened and everybody started getting the fuck on. They can't tell you what happened. Matter of fact, there go your answer. Nah. Okay. 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 It's fair to say this. 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 If they telling you Javion said he ran off because a situation occurred, so he ran off to go check on his partner. I guess, and Umar just was saying that all these people should have seen each other and whatever, whatever. Okay, smooth. Y'all all seen each other. And that's what I was trying to tell y'all earlier without saying it, because I don't have proof. I'm just talking to y'all from a real perspective. Like nigga, this simple. But I believe it was an all out brawl out that bitch. You feel me? When Javion telling y'all some shit popped off, oh, y'all think it ended without a fight? It was a fight out there. And it was probably more than one person fighting. And you ever heard of that fight to the death? Hello. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened. But if there was an altercation so massive, I can only imagine if y'all are all saying y'all seen him in between this time. Nobody seen him get in an altercation. Did anybody see him in water? Did anybody, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. There's not a witness in this whole ordeal to say they saw somebody unalive or do something malicious to Nolan Wells. You don't have an eyewitness. You can speculate all day long. You don't have an eyewitness. You got two dumb motherfuckers, but let's get back to it.
3:30. Javon 3:40, roughly 3:30. My point is, Art, for all three of them to have the same exact time, if they did not see each other at all during these conversations with Nolan, are they pushing up the window of time during which they saw Nolan so they cannot be included in this investigation as a witness to a crime? In other words, Art, I don't think Javon had nothing to do with it. I know he didn't.
You keep
But
saying it.
is he saying he saw Nolan a little earlier than he saw him so he can't be pulled into the investigation?
So
I don't
are you
think
saying he
Katie had
lying?
nothing to do with the crime. But is Katie putting her conversation with Nolan a little earlier than it actually took place to make sure she can't be dragged into the investigation as a witness to a crime? Is it
No,
possible that the coach
it's
is
not.
putting his conversation with
So you
Nolan
saying the
earlier than what it
coach,
was, Art, to make sure
everybody,
he cannot
listen.
get dragged
Okay,
into the
okay.
investigation? I don't think they had anything to do with it, but they could have been a witness to a homicide, Art. They could have been witness to a homicide. If they did not see each other If none of those three people, the coach, Javon, and Katie, if they did not see each other at all talking to Nolan, if none of them saw each other talking to Nolan, at least two of them are lying about the time they last saw Nolan. Are you following me, Art? All I'm saying is I have my suspicions as to whether or not this convenient 3:30 cutoff window, I have my suspicions that this convenient 3:30 cutoff window may have not actually been the time they saw Nolan. They may have saw Nolan closer to the time he lost his life.
Which is
Now
what
stay
time?
with me, Art.
We with you, nigga. Well, we listen. Which is what time?
I want to back up for a minute. And I want to say this to Brother Elmore, Nolan's stepfather. And I want to say this to Coach Tracy, who I believe was one of Nolan's coaches. Brother Elmore, the stepfather, and Coach Tracy, the coach, both said on national television, Art, that they don't think race played a role in this at all. Elmore, Tracy, two dark-skinned black men in Mississippi, and both of them said on national television, I don't think race had anything to do with this case. I am disappointed in Brother Elmore. I am disappointed in Coach Tracy. How dare you help these young people avoid the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. federal hate crimes law, Art? By you saying you don't think this had anything to do with race, Brother Elmore and Coach Tracy, you are helping these white folks avoid federal hate crimes charges. And let me tell you why this is important.
You don't have evidence to that.
Let me tell you why this is important. Under the federal hate crimes law, Matthew Shepard, James Byrd, signed by Barack Obama, 2009. Okay. Under the Federal Hate Crimes Act, Art, you can go to jail for life. You can go to jail for life under the Federal Hate Crimes law.
You gotta prove
you can go to jail for life under the Federal Hate Crimes Act, Art. Why is Nolan's stepfather and coach telling white folks they don't think it had anything to do with race?
Because it did it.
I still love my brother Elmore. I still love my brother Coach Tracy. But would y'all please watch what comes out of your mouth during this investigation? Because you are undermining justice for Nolan.
Wow. Wow. Because his stepfather, who got more say-so than you, and his coach, the man that coached him, his stepfather, now that's a story for another day. But because they say, they telling you, and I'm going to tell y'all something. I done heard the stories of Mississippi. They, you know how they explain it is, I mean, it's racism everywhere. Let's not act like that. But it's not so, it's not like you just gonna run in. I don't deal with no racism. You feel me? And if it is, it's probably so minute that I don't even pay it any attention. You feel me? There's no people putting their hands on me, fucking with me. Not even the police. Listen, I don't have a problem with the police. None. So I'm not even understanding this race bait. You gonna sit up here and say, no disrespect to Katie, but you done call her white girl 50 times. She didn't, or none of them from, I don't care how you feel about race baiting Tatum. They didn't get up there and say, the black boy, the blacks, do that. They didn't do that. But Umar want to get his ass up here to my son. The white girl. Oh my. Oh my God.
Hope you're listening, Brother Elmore. And I hope you're listening, Coach Tracy. You are undermining justice for Nolan by saying you don't think race had anything to do with it. How in
Right.
the hell do you know? How do you know
Right
if
on,
race had
so
anything to do with it? How well do you know these young people? It was 30 of them, Art. It was damn near 30 white youth spread across 3 boats. How many of them did Elmore know?
how
How
many
many
were
of them did
black?
Coach Tracy know? So how are you going to go on TV and say, I don't think it had anything to do with race? Why are you helping them avoid accountability for what they may have done? I don't know if they did it, Art.
So
You don't know if
what
they
you
did it.
talking
They don't know if they
about?
did it. And they definitely don't know if it was motivated by race. What they should have said, Art, is what Javon said. And that's why I like the young brother Javon. That's why I like that young brother Javon. His mother, Sister Tashima, shout out to you. You raised a good kid. When TMZ asked Javon if he thought it had anything to do with race, Art, when TMZ asked Javon if he thought this had anything to do with race, he said, what? I don't want to answer that question. I don't want to answer that question. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Or Art, they could have said, I don't know. Nolan's stepfather could have said, I don't know if it had anything to do with race. Coach Tracy should have said, I don't know if it had anything to do with race. But to say you don't think it had to do with race when he was the only
Nigga,
black
true.
boy across 3 ships, are you out of your mind? Why would you say that and help them avoid the Federal Hate Crimes Act? Javon gave a better answer than those 2 black men. Javon, a child, gave a better answer than those 2 black men, Art, when he
Listen,
said, I don't
listen.
want to answer the question. And
Hold
shout
on,
out to
hold
Javon,
on.
Art. He's
That's
intelligent. You know
some
why?
craziness. Listen to me. Umar's an idiot. You're comparing what a child said as to what adults, niggas your age, that know better. They said what it was. No. How the fuck you gonna compare that to a child? Man, boy, I need a drink. I need a drink right now. And I'm finna have one. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that is a good answer that he gave. But why you think they didn't ask his parents that question? Hello, Dr. Umar, this ain't what you want. Brother!
Because by saying, I don't want to answer the question, he answered the question. Of course, race has something to do with it. This is the
No,
United
it don't.
States of America. Race
I'm
has
about
something to do
America.
with everything involving black people. The country
You
was
can
built on
leave.
the backs of black people. It's
Leave.
maintained on black people. We are disproportionately represented in the criminal justice system, overrepresented in the unemployment line, under the poverty line. Of course, everything in this country has to do with race. And I'm disappointed in us, Art,
That's it.
that we are so afraid to call racism what it is that we literally got people asking us when a white person takes the life of a black person,
Uh-huh.
do you think it had anything to do with race? When a police officer takes the life or shoots a black person, do you think it had anything to do? What kind of idiotic gaslighting question is this, Art? All white people.
He's dumb. Like, as fuck. Okay, let me ask you this. When a black man take a black man life, is that racist? Racist? It was a white man unalive Charlie Kirk, was that racist? People can unalive a person and don't even know them. You got people that'll take a person's life and they ain't even had a chance to experience their race. 9/11, they didn't care about the race. DC, they didn't care about the rate. Chicago, where the crime rates are the highest, they don't care about race. What are you talking about? We hate us the most. We hate us the most. I don't like you. I can stand them. Hello.
People are racist. All white people are racist. So we can stop asking if it had anything to do with race. If it's black and it's white, it has something to do with race because all white people are racist. That's just how it is. Now let's get back to this. Let's get back to this.
Get back to it.
Before we deal with the infamous Cito call, Art,
Mhm.
I got a few questions for Warren. I want to deal with that infamous Cito call, Art, and I want to deal with Sister Tashima and Sister Christine's visit to Warren's home to get Nolan's cell phone. I want to deal with them two in a minute, but before I go there, I got a couple questions for Warren and his white friends. Nolan's best friend, and Warren even called Nolan his brother, Art. He even called him his brother. He said they spent the night together before they went out to White Devil's Horn Island, Art. The night before, July 3rd, they stayed in the same home. How do you stay in the same home with somebody, Art, and leave them on an island? How do you sleep in the same house with somebody July 3rd and then leave them on an island July 4th? But I got a few questions for Warren.
Oh
No
my.
disrespect. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty, but I got a few questions for you, Warren.
What?
Since you could sit down and interview with Officer B.T. Coon, I need you to sit down and interview with Dr. Umar Tunde. So you can sit down and interview with Officer B.T. Coon,
Who?
I want you to sit down and interview with Dr. Umar Tunde. My first question to
E5
Warren.
Tuesday.
You
He
said that
E5.
Nolan is a best friend of yours,
Oh
that
Lord.
he's like a brother.
Oh
I have a question. If
my God. Let me tell y'all about that E5 stuff. Hey, listen. Put me on big screen. Put me on big screen. Put me on big screen. All right. Listen. Everything I love. I had tried to do that E5 stuff one time, and I'm gonna get to the point. So, it was the chief. Chief told her, y'all for that know, y'all know. And so I wanted to be E5, so I said I'm gonna go and do me a reading. You got to go and do a reading. So I set up my appointment to go do the reading, and I went out there to the high. I think I had to pay like $125, something like that. Maybe 125. Shit, I can't remember. But they charge you for the read. So I pay for the read. I go out though, right? Now I'm trying to tell y'all, this nigga ain't right. E5, E5, look on E5. IFA. Look on E5. That African shit. Tina Boo, I know Tina Boo. Yeah, that was that. Hey, y'all. Dr. Umar, he practiced that store where they be killing goats, chickens. Let me get back to the story. I'm telling y'all, I know what I know. So look, I go to the meeting. Goddamn. When I get there, I go in the house. We go out there to the garage. So we sitting in the garage and he go to doing whatever he doing. I can't even remember everything. So he gave me the rocks and he told me to shake the rocks and shit. So I get the rocks. I go to shaking them. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them. I done dropped them. Them motherfucker hopped out my hand. Oh, hey, oh no. What the fuck was going on? The guy down rock hopped out that beat, right? And so they fell on the floor. And then one of the rocks had fell up under the couch that he was sitting on. So I looked at him. He looked at me. Looked at him. He was talking about so get the rock. Oh, nigga, man. Hey, I told him, oh no, the rock fell up under your chair. So he get the rock. Boom, whatever. So we finished the reading. He he told me what he told me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can just pick up on it, but the shit he was saying, now I was like, I did just get out of jail. I do be drinking. I did that. And that. So he was like, he would put me down and everything like that, right? Though, right? So, goddamn, this motherfucker gonna tell me you got to sacrifice 2 quails. First of all, I'm like, you talking about like peacocks? What the fuck is a quail? That's like a bird, right? My second thing is, oh, where the fuck am I gonna get 2 quails? Not one, but two. And when I get these quails, what we supposed to be doing with these quails? Cause you ain't finna put no fucking quail blood on me. I'm telling y'all, shout what's going on. Default tree. He E5. He E5. That African shit, and they be goddamn feeding their ancestors. I went over a big house. She was E5. She had a plate of food in the corner. Shit looked like it been there since Martin Luther King died. And she told me, oh, don't touch that. That's for the ancestors. They like to eat. Then she was talking about so she wake up and some of her be gone. Bitch, you got rats. Woo! Bitch, let put a waffle over there. And if I wake up in the morning and that waffle gone, no, not doing it. Not doing it. You got me fucked up. Woo! But I'm just breaking it down because that's what he got going on. That's what he talking about. This nigga, that E5. They be wearing them beads and shit. Shit. That's why he said Dr. U5, Lee 5, Lunday. Who? Nigga, what's your real name? You look like a Robert, motherfucker. Or lying that Brandon. You and this nigga. Ah, this nigga named Brandon. Brandon on Brandon on Brandon's face ass.
Nolan is your brother and best friend. Why did you leave him on that island, especially when you all were drinking? Because somebody
Oh
put a report
shit.
out there, Art, that
Uh-huh.
Nolan had been drinking heavily and was intoxicated. Of course, that court was, of course, that allegation was dismissed because the coach who contacted Sister Christine confirmed that he spoke to Nolan between 2:30 and 3:30, and Nolan was not intoxicated. So they lied to protect their friends because white people are always on code, Art. Not a single white person on that island dropped a dime yet. Not one of them. So anyway, Art,
On
they
it.
tried to blame it on him being drunk. So he was just a drunk black kid who walked into the water and drowned. That's the narrative they
Hey.
wanted us to swallow. He was just a drunk black kid who walked into the water and drowned. And remember, Art,
Hey,
Sheriff.
hold on. I ain't gonna lie, nah. Put me back on the big screen. I ain't gonna lie. I could see that happening. Cause look, I done look. I went to Alabama one time, okay, And I like to tell y'all my experiences so y'all I know I ain't capping. Shit. I went to Alabama one time down there in Mobile. They got a beach down there in Mobile. Now on the beach down there in Mobile, it ain't nothing but liquor stores. If y'all remember back in the day, they used to be what they call Rich Boy. Those some D's on that. He owned all the liquor store down there. So while I'm down there, I'm going in each liquor store. I'm stealing the big bottles of Ciroc. I'm getting right. So now I done hit them about 4 times. I got big bottles of this Ciroc. So I'm out there on the beach drinking. You feel me? Huh? I ain't really on the beach. I'm in my car, but when you go to the beach, you can park. So I'm at my car and the beach over there. So, boom, I'm drinking, I'm kicking it, all this shit. Ah, I go to the beach. Now, mind you, I've been swimming since I was a little bitty boy. I can swim. I love to swim. I love swimming. So look, I'm like, I'm drunk though. I'm like, I'm finna go to the beach. Feel me? So, boom. I go to the beach. As I get to the beach, I see a sign that say RIP Tide. TIDE. Now, mind you, I'm in Alabama. So I'm thinking they talking about like roll tide at Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not paying shit no attention. I get out there in the water. I'm playing this shit in the water. My drunk ass got there. Man, I fucked around and I couldn't feel that motherfucker. I said, oh. Now, when I go to Triangle, that shit, uh, it trying to put me back. So I'm like, oh no! But I went goddamn finding Nemo. So look, I get back to shore. Whew, bitch. Ah, 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 you feel me? I made it back to shore, right? Get back to shore. I'm like, whoo, whoo. I'm like, that's what that is. So somebody, I can't remember who, they explained to me the sign that said Riptide. And they say they have to put that up because them rip currencies are drag your ass out there in that water. And if you don't know how to your ass will. Dun, 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 dun. You remember when Mario used to drown on the game? Dun, dun, dun. Your ass would be Super Mario. One life, a no life. Man, y'all share these. Cause we do news, but we do it the right way. Motherfucker. Woo! Not Ifa Ulande.
Ledbetter allegedly ruled the case an accidental drowning before he did any investigation.
Right.
He ruled Nolan's death an accidental drowning before he did any investigation. As far as I'm concerned, that meets the definition of public corruption. As far as I'm concerned, that meets the definition of public corruption. But staying with Warren, Art. Warren,
Where
if
them folks
Nolan is your
school
brother
at?
and best friend, why did you leave him on an island without his cell phone and his keys? Why did you take his cell phone and keys back to the mainland? You left him there and took his cell phone and keys back. Can you please explain that to me? What person wants to be on an island without their phone? Help me understand that, Warren. I don't know of an 18-year-old who wants to be anywhere without their phone, Art. They don't want to be in school without their phone. They don't want to be at home without their phone. They don't want to be out of town without their phone. They don't want to be at the mall, the movies, the restaurant. They don't want to be nowhere without.
Wait a minute. Because now that's why we need the toxicology report. Because Umar said a minute ago that not Warren, Nolan was supposed to be under the influence and drinking heavily and things of that nature. Now, if he was drunk and wasn't studying it, that's a difference. That's a difference. I'm drunk, I'm fucked up. Hey, shit, and I'm gonna leave my phone here before I lose it in the water because my intentions. See, there you go, right there. My intentions is to leave with y'all, but I had to change the plans. Y'all go ahead. I'm smooth. I'm drunk. I ain't ready to go. I'm trying to fuck some. Y'all both fucking up. I'm good. He got every right. I'm not. Mind you, my boat and shit fucking up. So I ain't even got time to talk about. Hey, you got your phone? You're not my man. My man, my man, my man. Quiet, creep. Real quiet. Hey, hey, the phone real quiet. Oh, turn up. They say Nolan Wells knew was quiet on the creek. Woo! Woo! Dumbass.
Their phone, let alone on an island with
Yeah,
no way to get off.
right.
You left your best friend on an island, your so-called brother. You left him on an island with no way to get off, and you took his phone and his keys. Can you explain that to me, Warren?
Yes.
While you're thinking about it, I got another
I ain't got
question
to
for you,
think.
Warren. While
Hold
you're
on, hold on,
thinking
hold
about
on.
it.
Hold on. You talk too fast. Slow down, cowboy. Look, see, Umar is using the word took. I would like to consider the word left.
You said at 11 o'clock, you called Miss Christine to see if she heard from her son.
Uh-huh.
Warren said, Art, I called Miss Christine to see if she heard from Nolan.
Okay.
She said she had not heard from Nolan.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question, Warren?
Yeah.
If you took his phone, how in the hell was his mother supposed to hear from her son when you have the son's phone? Did you tell Miss Christine that you had her son's phone when you called her? I bet you didn't. I
He
bet
did.
you didn't. Think about that, Art. He called the mother and asked her if she heard from her son.
Okay. I listen. I listen. And I'm gonna tell you about that. What he said, well, okay. He called Miss Christine. Is you not listening? He don't listen. Omar don't listen. He said he called Christine. When they recovered the phone, he said the phone was in his buddy car. I guess he was talking about Wyatt. He didn't know that. He told you that. He said we didn't have no reason to go through Wyatt phone. Nolan phone. We didn't know his password. Blah, blah, blah. When they got there about the phone, now I don't know how the phone got from the boat to the car. You feel me? That's something they not telling you. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not here to investigate. But he said in his interview that they came to get the phone. His buddy got it out of his, I believe he said truck. I believe he said truck. But he said his buddy got it. Okay. So that answers you. He can't tell her, oh, I got his phone when I don't have it. Me calling your mama at 11 is like, hey, we left him back. He was kind of fucked up. Have you heard from him? Okay, I'm finna ask y'all this. Well, I ain't even, because I just answered my own question. Because he said that the mama, see, that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't believe the mama. I don't believe a lot of people in this case. Because my question was finna be, when he asked the mama that, what did she say? Because we only going off of, no, she hadn't talked to him, what up? Okay. No, she ain't talked to him. Well, when was the last time you talked to him, mom, dude? Everybody lying. And that's why it's too. But this nigga,
But he knows she didn't hear
out
from
of
her son,
control.
Art, because he has her son's phone. How can the mother hear from Nolan when you have Nolan's cell phone and you left him on
Oh!
an
Hold
island?
on! Hold on! Oh,
And I
shit!
bet you,
Hold on! Hold on! Hold on! Nolan had two phones! Oh, my God! Hold on. Listen, 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 listen to me. Nolan had two phones. That's why the shit. That's why the phone that they got don't have nothing on it. They backup phones. This is one of my phones. This is one of my phones. Hold on. This phone not charged. This my other phone. Where'd you deal with? This three phones I got right now on my mama. Nolan had another phone. Nolan had another phone. Where is see? And that's the phone that the mama them got. They got their goddamn phone. Oh my! This is all alleged, but I'm breaking it down. Shorty, the man had another phone. This phone that they talking about, that they trying to put the press on, it ain't even the main phone. Ask the mama, how many phones did Nolan have that you know of? It's not abnormal to have more than one phone in today's society. Man, please. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And look, they got they got one of his phones. Nolan had two phones. I promise you. I promise you Nolan had two phones.
you didn't tell her you had his phone. Because if she knew you had his phone, Art, she would not
Oh
have had to
shit.
use
Hold
Life
on. Hold on.
360 to
Hold on.
find the phone.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. See, that's what I'm here for. That's why we go to cooking. Look, that's how she was able to get his passwords and shit and get in that 360 and that Snapchat and all that. She had one phone. She was able to get information on the other phone. That's why she was able to go track that phone. And because look, if that was the case, why she didn't track the phone right then? Right then. Why she didn't track it? Because she had to get his belongings. I promise you, Nolan Wells had two phones. And his mama, she got that first one. Promise you that. Promise you that. Ask her.
If you had his phone and you called her at 11 o'clock to see if Nolan was okay, why didn't you tell Nolan's mom you had his phone? Why did my sister Christine and my sister Tashima have to use Life 360 to find their son's phone? Because you playing games. You
And they
playing games.
playing them
You
too.
playing in our face like we stupid. That's what this is. I don't know if he did it, Art, but he damn sure knows who do. I allege and I believe that all 30 of those white kids on all 3 of them boats know exactly which one of them did it, and the rest of them are covering it up. And guess what, Warren? And the rest of you 30 white kids on those 3 boats,
See?
let me explain something to you. Federal hate crimes law, you can go to jail for the rest of your life in case nobody didn't tell you. Federal hate crimes law, you can go to jail for the rest of your life in case nobody told you. Guess what? The Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, you can go to jail for up to 30 years. And if Nolan was unalived by more than one person, that constitutes a lynching.
Prove
That
it.
constitutes a lynching.
And
So
I'm
you
not
can go
saying
to
he
jail for up
was
to
what.
30 on the Emmett Till Act. You can go to jail for life on the Matthew Shepard James Byrd Hate Crimes Act. And in the state of Mississippi, Art, if you are an accessory after the fact, not accomplice. Accomplice
After
means
the
you
fact.
participated in the
We heard
murder.
you, child.
Accessory means you help cover it up afterwards. If
Right,
you
we heard
are
you.
an accessory to the fact after the fact,
I gotta
Art,
cook, y'all.
you can go to jail for up to 20 years, Mississippi law. So they can go to jail for up to 20 years, Mississippi law. Accessory after the fact, you help to cover up the crime.
Right.
You can go to jail for 30 years on the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act because more than one of you probably participated in Nolan's unaliving.
Prove it.
And under the Matthew
That's the
Shepard James
thing.
Byrd Federal Hate Crimes Act, Art, they can go to jail for life.
He gotta
And
prove
this is
it.
why I need Nolan's step pop and coach to watch what comes out of their mouth and stop trying to help these white kids avoid accountability for what they did to Nolan. Because if the tables were turned, white folks are not going to try to help your child avoid any accountability. So stop the cutting. Now, another question I have for Warren.
I'm on the side of justice.
You said you and Nolan been friends since 8th grade.
Okay.
Since 8th grade, Art. But Sister Christine says she don't know none of them kids really, Art. She don't know them white kids.
She haven't had
So help
him.
me understand how you are Nolan's best friend, friends since
His
8th
mama
grade.
didn't have
You
custody.
called him your brother. Y'all spent the night
Right.
together July the 3rd, the morning before y'all went to White Devil's Horn Island. And his mother don't even know who you are. And
She
you
didn't
said out
raise
your
him.
own mouth that y'all never hung out at Nolan's house. So how are y'all best friends?
Don't.
I had best friends growing up, Art. My mother knew who they were.
No, that she
Who
didn't.
has a best friend that they mom don't know about? Help me understand that. A best friend
The
and the
one who
mom
mama
don't
didn't
know?
raise
It
them.
sounds suspicious.
She didn't raise
Why
him.
didn't you tell Miss Christine you had her son's
Ask-
cell phone when
ask
you
the
called
dad.
and asked
Do he know
if she
him?
heard from him? Art, as far as I'm concerned, there's probable cause he has something to do with this.
Okay.
Art, I'm holding her son's cell phone. I left him on the island. I took his keys and phone. And I'm on the phone with the mom. I got his phone, but I'm calling his mother at 11 o'clock. Have you heard from your son? And I'm holding her son's cell phone, and I don't
One
even
of the
tell her.
phones.
Art, this
One
ain't
of
making
them.
no sense.
Okay.
This ain't making no sense.
Hold on.
And I want to know from Sheriff John Ledbetter, Art.
Hold on,
Jackson
y'all.
County Sheriff, you don't have probable cause
Hold
just
on.
off
Wait
of
a
that
minute.
alone.
Wait a minute.
Somebody calls
Wait a minute.
somebody's mom asking if she heard from him while
Hold on.
they have their phone and left them
Ooh,
stranded
I
on the
got
island. And if you care so much about Nolan, Art,
Hold on.
if he cares so
I got him. Look, look, y'all. Look, if she don't know them, right? She don't know his friend. Ask his dad, do he know him? But look, guess what? If she don't know them, how was he able to call her? How was he able to call Miss Christine's phone if she don't know him? How did he get her number? Or you just he just and she didn't even say I don't have any idea as to how he got my number. But you see what I'm saying? How he call you if y'all don't know each other? And that's what I'm saying. Did you have one of Nolan's phones? They had the other one. I promise you, Nolan had two of them. But yeah, if he don't know you, he should have been able to call your phone.
So much about Nolan, the so-called white best friend, Art. Why did you wait till 11 o'clock? Y'all left the island
Nigga,
4,
cause I was
4:30.
busy.
Y'all left the island 4:30. If you care so much about Nolan, why are you not calling his mother until 11 o'clock? It's pitch black outside at 11 o'clock, Art. It's pitch black. It's almost midnight, and you wait till 11 o'clock to call his mom and ask her if she heard from her son, but he's supposed to be your brother and best friend. Listen here, Warren. I was
What?
born at night, but I wasn't born last night. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. And then
Which
I have a
night was
question
it,
for his
Mo?
dad, too, Art. I don't know if you know this, but his dad has started an online fundraising platform
Yeah.
for Warren and two of his friends. I think they raised $160,000 so far.
It was 130.
$160,000. Nobody has been arrested. Nobody has received a warrant. Nobody has been indicted. Nobody has been charged. Art, if you are innocent, why are you raising money online? You ain't been charged with a crime at all. The state of Mississippi is doing everything they can to make sure y'all don't get charged with anything. So why are you raising money online? Why did y'all cancel your social media? Why are y'all lawyering up? They hired Donald Trump's lawyer, Art. One of Donald Trump's lawyers is now the three of their lawyers. If you innocent, what you need Donald Trump's lawyer for? If you're innocent, what you raising $160,000 for? It sounds like y'all getting ready to defend yourselves. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like y'all think the truth is going to get out really, really soon, and y'all want to be prepared for it. Again, Art, I'm not saying he did it, but I definitely believe he knows who do. Now,
What?
we're going to get to this call. We're going to get to this call. But
Okay.
before we get to this call, Art, I'm going to ask a question to Benjamin Crump.
Uh-oh.
Attorney Benjamin Crump. I met him twice, Art. I met Benjamin Crump the day before I graduated with my doctorate at an
Okay.
Urban League conference in New Orleans. I presented at a workshop at the Urban League conference in New Orleans. This
You look
is
like a Dr. Saeed.
July of 2012. And I flew
How
back
you a
to graduate and
doctor?
get my
You
doctorate in clinical
man.
psychology. We had lunch. It's a few of us at the table. We had lunch. Okay. This is around the Trayvon era.
Okay.
And then I met Benjamin Crump again at HBCU Delaware State University about 3 or 4 years ago at the Black Farmers Conference that was put on by one of the black professors there. She invited me to keynote the luncheon, and she switched me out at the
Had to
last
make me
minute
something to
for
eat,
attorney
y'all.
Benjamin Crump. I
Had to make me something
understand
to
it
eat.
was a black bourgeoisie event. I'm not a member of the black bourgeoisie. I got switched out. I understand. No harm, no foul. Ben Crump
What?
gave a good speech. But
Okay.
here's my question to Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton.
Okay.
Here's my question to Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton, Art. How long are y'all going to wait around
Mhm.
before y'all call a spade a spade? How long is Ben Crump and Al Sharpton going to wait around, Art, before they tell the world that they don't think this investigation is being done correctly. How long
What the
before
fuck?
Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton
They'll
demand
never say
that
it.
the FBI and Department of Justice take over this investigation? Art, it's been over a month and we know nothing. It's been over a month and we know nothing.
Who the
Now, let me
fuck
say
is
this, Art.
we?
There's several
See,
circumstances.
that's the shit that I be talking about right there. We're not obligated to know. I promise y'all, the family know. They know. It's their business. It's not our business, Dr. Umar. It's theirs. You're not an investigator. You're not a police officer. You're not a judge. You're not an attorney. You're an alleged doctor. Nobody is sick here, except maybe you two. Tatum, I'm not done with you. But right now, this nigga is blowing me. Where's that school, nigga?
Through which you can demand the FBI come in and take over an investigation. One of them, Art, if there is a suspicion
You can't
of public
demand
corruption
shit.
or obstruction of justice, the FBI, the Department of Justice, can come in and take over a case on the suspicion of public corruption or obstruction of justice. So you're going to say, Dr. Umar, what evidence do you have of that? First of all, they declared this an accidental drowning before they did any investigation. That's a cover-up.
No,
Not only that, Art, they never treated the boat like a crime scene. They never took a look at the other two boats. We have no information at all on the other two boats. Those 30 white kids should have had their cell phones confiscated, investigated. All their social media should have been investigated. Their homes should have been investigated. They should have all been interrogated. They should have been investigated to see if they or their parents had any connection to any of the white hate groups in the state of Mississippi. None of that was done.
Yes,
They
it was.
gave the boat back to the owner, Art. They gave the boat back. The
After
boat
the
may have been a
investigation was
crime
complete.
scene, and they gave it back. Now, according to the Cajun Navy, another question for Ben Crump, Art. According to the Cajun Navy, they offered Ben Crump to put dogs on the boat and let the dogs sniff it out to see if anybody had recently been deceased on that boat or if there had been any blood on that boat. And according to the representative from the Cajun Navy, Ben Crump told him don't do it.
Okay, then.
So I need Ben Crump, respectfully, I'm not accusing him of nothing, Art, but I need Ben Crump to explain to me why you didn't let them use the dogs to sniff out that boat. Why did you not let them sniff out that boat with them dogs? Did you have your own dogs to sniff out the boat? Because if you didn't, why didn't you let them sniff the boat out with the dogs? The dogs can tell, Art, if somebody had recently lost their life or if blood had been spilled. He said Ben Crump told him no. I need Ben Crump to explain that. I need Sheriff John Ledbetter to explain why the boat wasn't treated as a crime scene, potential crime scene. I need him to explain why all them white kids wasn't arrested and questioned.
See what I'm
because
saying?
if it was black kids and a white kid went missing, Art, they would have all been arrested and questioned. You know that. They would have all been arrested and questioned. And then let's talk about the autopsy, Art.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the autopsy. So the Mississippi State Medical Examiner, they do their autopsy July 7th, right? July 7th. And then Nolan's mother requested an independent autopsy, as she should have. They send Nolan's body to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
When the black medical examiner gets the Nolan's corpse, Art, the throat tissue and the lung tissue is gone.
Okay.
How is he supposed to determine if Nolan died from being choked out, or if Nolan died from drowning if he don't have the throat tissue or the lung tissue, Art. How is he supposed to do his job and y'all didn't send the throat tissue or the lung tissue? And nobody has explained yet whether or not the medical examiner in DC is ever going to get the throat tissue or the lung tissue. And I personally believe, Art, I personally believe Nolan was deceased before he hit the water. I believe Nolan was deceased before he hit the water. And the reason they held on to the throat tissue and the reason they held on to the lung tissue is they didn't want nobody to know that Nolan was murdered before he hit that water. Just like Emmett Till was murdered before he hit that water. Just like Dr. King's brother, A.D. King, was murdered before he hit that water. Remember, Art, when Dr. King's brother was murdered, Reverend A.D. King, they found him in a swimming pool. They ruled it a drowning. And then one of the paramedics said what, Art? One of the paramedics who took Dr. King's brother out the pool, Art, said he didn't have no water in his lungs. The paramedic said he didn't have no water in his lungs, Art. And plus, A.D. King, just like Nolan, A.D. King, just like Nolan, was a great swimmer, Art. Was a great swimmer. They kept them lungs, I believe. They kept the lungs, Art, because they knew that those lungs would have provided evidence of the fact that Nolan may have been deceased before he hit that water. They kept the throat because it may have shown some trauma that Nolan may have gotten choked out. And then you got the red substance around the back of the head that the DC medical examiner discussed.
It was the back of the neck.
We don't know if Nolan got hit in the back of the head. We don't know if the blood simply drained to the back of the head. But here's the thing, Art. They say Nolan was found face down in the water. Nolan was found face down in the water, Art. Not only that, Nolan was transported face down to Washington, D.C. So guess what, Art? I have my doubts as to whether or not the red, which is probably blood in the back of the head, the subcutaneous red area, Art, I don't think that has anything to do with the blood draining to the back. You want to know why? Because he was found floating on his face. And he was sent to Washington, D.C. on his face. So the blood couldn't have went backwards, Art. I believe Nolan got hit in the back of the head, and it was that hit that cost him his life. It was that hit that cost him his life. It was that hit that cost him his life. Now, with that being said,
Damn, I want to finish this shit, but it's bullshit. First of all, everybody know this. When they do an autopsy, they drain the blood from your body. So mind you, he's talking about when they sent the body to get the second autopsy. But what up?
Art, I want to go to Sister Tashima and Sister Christine going over to Warren's home, allegedly, to get Nolan's phone.
Okay.
So Sister Christine reported Nolan missing around 12:22 p.m. on the 4th. Sometime after that, her and Sister Tashima, Javon's mom, used Life 360, Art, and they tracked the phone to Warren's home. I believe it was Warren's home. Don't hold me to that. I believe it was, no, I think it was one over the friend's home, lady friend's home. I think Warren said they were swimming at a lady friend's home. Whoever house it was one of them kids who was out there on White Devil Horns Island. So they tracked the phone to this house, Art. And Sister Tashima said when they opened up the door, the house was dark. You know why the house was dark, Art?
Why?
They turned the lights off so they wouldn't recognize nobody's face.
Oh.
They turned, when they saw Nolan's mom is outside, this is what I believe happened. This is what I'm going to let. Nolan's mother and Javon's mother are outside. How did they know where we are? Turn the lights off because they are not going to leave until we open this door. They turn the lights off, Art, so they could hide. They didn't know that Nolan had Life 360 on that phone.
Wow.
They didn't know that Nolan had Life 360. Now, Sister Tashima said, Art, it took them 15 minutes to bring the phone. Art, she said it took them 15 minutes. You know why?
Why?
Because they was deleting his Snapchat accounts. That's why, Art. It took them 15 minutes to bring the phone because they were deleting Nolan's Snapchat account. And they also needed to make sure they had their story straight in case Sister Christine and Sister Tashima had any more questions, Art. That's what was going on.
All this.
But let me say this to Sister Christine
minutes.
and Sister Tashima. My beautiful African sisters, don't you ever again in your life go to a home at that time of night by yourself without no men. Brother Elmore should have been with y'all. You are in Mississippi. You don't know who would have been in that house.
Listen. They did all that in 15 minutes. They came up with his password, went on all his stuff and deleted everything. Came up with a story, made sure they had it together, and took the phone out there to 'cause mind you, why would now the mama said she sent her friend over there. According to them, the stepdaddy came or something like that. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Don't forget they cut all the lights off in the house. Now they hiding. What? Okay, let me ask you this. What day did y'all go? What day did they go over there? What day was this? That they went over there to get on the phone. What day was that? Because they reported him missing. He just said about 12 o'clock. So technically, when they called to check on Nolan, he wasn't even reported missing. So there's no crime in that. I don't know, man. That night, they couldn't have went that night. Cause they went, hold on. They went over there to them four house that night. Y'all trip. Yo,
You don't know what type of racist rednecks could have came out there and attacked you guys, and y'all could have ended up missing just like Nolan.
damn.
And once again,
What?
they would have said they never saw y'all.
Damn.
And once again, they would have said that they never saw y'all. So please don't do that again. I know you was looking for your son. I know you was helping your girlfriend look for her son. But don't y'all ever pull up at no white people's house you don't know after midnight. Don't you do that no more, ladies. Bring a couple alpha males with you. Bring Brother Elmore with you next time. But this is what I wish they would have done, Art. Let me tell you what I wish they would have done. When Sister Tashima and Sister Christine got to that house, Art, I wish they would not have told them they knew the phone was in there. Stay with me, Art. I wish they would have not told them they knew the phone. They should have played it off, Art. They should have said, we want to know if anybody has seen Nolan. We haven't heard from him since he went with y'all to White Devil's Horn Island. And they would have said, we ain't heard from him, Art. And then I would have said, do you know if Nolan had his phone with him? I've been calling my son all day. He's not picking up. Do you know if he had his phone? And if they would have said no, Art, If they would have said, we don't know if he had his phone or not, you know what I would have done?
What?
I would have called the police
Oh.
and I would have told the police, Art,
Mm-hmm.
my son is missing. He went to White Devil's Horn Island with these white kids in his house.
Uh-huh.
They have his phone. They don't know I know they have his phone. And they just lied to my face and told me that they don't know where the phone is and the phone is right in there with them. I believe that they are suspects in my son's disappearance and I want them all arrested. That's what I wish they would have done, Art. I wish they didn't tell them they knew the phone was in there. I wish they would have acted like they didn't know if the phone was in there and just asked them if they saw the phone. And once those white kids lied, I would have called the police because they never thought anybody was coming for Nolan's phone and keys. They never thought anyone was coming for Nolan's phone and keys because they didn't know Sister Christine had Life 360 on that phone, Art.
When Nolan's car literally parked that bruh house, this nigga stupid. He know they had to come get the car because the nigga car was parked there at his house. Okay? I call, man, this is crazy. But look, y'all, I done had enough of this. Y'all get the point. I catch y'all on the next one.